Match.
Hold on. Marcus, you don't take your foot outside and drill that ball in the
Concrete. Welcome to all ball. Format unique, all access for all y'all. What the spiel like? Back full of elite athletes that wanna teach and it speaks to the streets, so it feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the court to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host. Go. Yeah. Like and subscribe and follow like a crossover. Never know what might fall through this bitch tomorrow. So all ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All I know is all ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All ball Chicago. All I know is all ball Chicago.
Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
What's up, my beautiful people?
And we got another legend coming in here today. She did her thing in Indianapolis High School when she was a McDonald All-American. Went to Cincinnati. She's the all-time lead scorer in Cincinnati. Then she went overseas and tore down the wall. Man, give it up for Cheryl Cook, man. She a killer. She a walking bucket, man.
She's a walking bucket. She's a walking bucket.
What's going on?
How you guys doing, guys?
Oh,
you doing?
wonderful.
As you can tell my background, we're going to disregard that. I'm in prison.
You
Not
working?
physically. I'm working. Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Cheryl? I just want to say thanks for letting us, have an opportunity to talk to you, because we do know you're busy. You're doing your thing, working, and there's a lot of people that we put this out there, and a lot of people was like, man, you got to get Cheryl Cook on, man. You got to get her on. So we was like, let's find a way to get in contact with her and let's get her on, man. So it's a pleasure.
I'm humbled.
It's a pleasure to have you on. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
So we always start our shows off with who put the basketball in your hands. Like when you was a shorty getting ready to play the game of basketball, who was that person that put the basketball in your hands?
Well, I was fortunate enough to come from a big family. I got 6 brothers. My brothers were legends in their own right. I started off my brothers. I'm going to say my brothers, but I'm also going to say I was raised by my community, Hallville. I played in parks with the men, and they like, come on, make our teams even. So you that 8th one, so let's get it. And they put the ball in my hand. And ever since then, I haven't put it down. But I just want people to know that obviously I'm more than an athlete, but that's how it started. And I pay homage to everybody that came before me. And I'm just trying to give back to this new generation, man. That's all I'm doing.
Wow. Now, hearing you say that, it's a lot of people that don't think like that. They don't feel that they owed anybody anything. You didn't pay the way you did your thing on the basketball court. It ain't. People be like, why she want to come back and give back to the next generation? And I always say the same thing what you just said. I think it's our duty to do that, to help the younger generation.
Oh, without a doubt. That's how I was raised. My mom always told us, obviously out of Coach Payne, it always used to tell me you're not bigger than the game. And be able to reach back and help people less fortunate. And as you can tell, my career went from playing professional, playing in college, playing all in high school, to giving back to young male offenders in prison. So I'm always trying to give back. I'm always trying to pour into young people. So I think that's important. And I also think if you're going to be playing this game and you have a platform to speak, then you need to represent yourself. You need to represent others, my family, where I come from, Naptown, Indianapolis, Hallville, and hopefully I made them proud and I'm representing them well.
No doubt. I definitely feel you on that, and I was raised in Chicago, and which is Indianapolis is right up the road from us.
Yes.
Right. And you guys got the nickname. We got the Chi-Town. You guys got Naptown.
Absolutely. But we ain't sleep though.
You ain't sleep. And Cheryl, you speak on this for some of our listeners that when I looked at Indiana, I'm just gonna say the state, Indiana, right? I always said you're gonna get fundamentally sound basketball players that come out of there,
Absolutely.
right? You got people who love the game fan wise. They're gonna always come out and support you guys.
Absolutely.
Why is it like that in Indianapolis? Why is it like that in Indianapolis?
This is what we're known for. We're known for. I just always like to give homage to the Big O. He's out of Christmas Addicts High School in Indianapolis. George McGinnis, Steve Downing, Billy Keller. I could just name a few. And but Indianapolis, Indiana is the hub of basketball. We always say that's where it began. And like I said, this is just what we do. We eat, breathe, and sleep basketball, So that's just what we did in Chicago. I got a lot of friends in Chicago that I went to school with, to college, Derek McMillan, Joe Stiffen. So we're right up the road, but it's the same, love of the game. But Indiana, that's where basketball originated. People can say what they want, but I'm always gonna say that because every time you looking for me, you can find her on the court somewhere in the state of Indiana or in Indianapolis or in Naptown.
Right. And I picked up on this when you was talking to us at the beginning. You said you were playing with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hard to find 10 girls to play basketball up and down the court with?
It was because that wasn't the norm. It wasn't a norm. And me personally, I'm always, try to break barriers, and I believe in, I was taught by a strong Black woman that I could be whatever, from CEO of the company, own the company, whatever. So that's how I was taught. So, but it was very, very difficult at the beginning because you didn't see a lot of females playing basketball. When I started, I picked up a ball when I was 7, 8. And then kept on playing city leagues with the men. It's always been men. That's and it made me become fundamentally sound. It made me become aggressive. It made me who I am today. So I pay homage to all those brothers in Belmont Park and in Hallville, because guess what? Without them, there's no me. Without them, there's no me.
Hold on, Miss Cook. Let me pause. Marcus, our Facebook Live is not up.
Yeah, I'm getting to it, Bob. That's what I was.
Okay, saying. I just wanted people inboxing and stuff and asking. So, yeah, and they wanted to know about that 51-point game you had. I wanted to throw that in real quick. They said you dropped 51.
Yeah,
in the game.
It was just one of those nights. When you feel it, you can. It was just a spectacular night. It happened at the right time, and I give it all to my teammates because. Obviously there's no I in team. I believe that. I still believe
it's a me.
But guess what? It's a me, like George said. And I get it. But humbly, I'm very, very humble. And it happened. And it was just everything was going right that night. And if Marcus, you know what I'm talking about. Mr. Reed, you know what I'm talking about. When you feel it, no matter where you shoot it, no matter what you do, it's gonna go in. So it was just one of those nights, and I think about it, but I'm humbled and I'm thankful to my teammates and my coaches, because without them, again, there wouldn't be no me and no 51 points. So I was happy about the performance.
So was it an easy 51 though? Was it easy?
It came easy. It came easy.
Because everyone I talked to about you, they was like, she made the game look real easy out there on the court. And then you turn around, she'll have 30 points, 10 rebounds. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'10" and a half.
5'10" and a half, have 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. They was like, she's a stat stuffer, right? So when it was time for you to go to college, and I know you probably could have went anywhere. So one of our listeners, Melissa, she just chimed in. She wanted to know, was Cincinnati the only school? I'll put the comment up there so you can see it. Where she go? Right here, right there. What other schools were listed besides Cincinnati? And is it true Bobby Knight tried to recruit you to Indiana?
I had 350 college offers from Harvard to West Point because not only was I a basketball player or an athlete, like I tell you, I'm still more than an athlete. I had a, 2.9, 3.0 grade point average coming out of school. Could have went anywhere. The reason why I chose Cincinnati is because in Indiana, when we become family, whether it's in high school, AAU team, my parents, and all the colleges can make promises to you. And Cincinnati was one that did not. I'll fly your mom out to every game. I'll do this, but I knew it was straight up the road from where I lived in Indianapolis. So I took an opportunity to go because I can still get a good education, and I didn't want to sit behind anybody. I wanted to go and start my own program, and I wanted to show them, hey, what I start is what I finish. So pretty much why I chose Cincinnati is because I wanted my parents and my brothers and my family to be able to come and see me play. It's right up the road. They supported me all my life, and I owe that to them. So I don't have any regrets why I chose Cincinnati because I benefited. I got a great education, and obviously I had opportunities internationally and professionally. So it all worked out for me.
Yeah, and I would say this too, Cheryl, that most people, I'm just going to say most basketball players, they don't understand that there's levels to basketball. Like you got your high school level, what you do in high school, okay, now that's over. Now you got to concentrate on college. How did you prepare for that? Like, how did you prepare for jumping from high school to college?
Well, it was really a regiment because my stepfather, what he did was when I made a decision to wanting to be great in that sport, I was a 3-sport All-American, as a matter of fact, in volleyball, basketball, and track. Won a state championship in track. But basketball was really my true love. So my stepfather, surrogate father, what he did was he said, if you want to be great, this is what it's going to take. I mean, I'm 14, 13 years old, and I'm up training personal trainers in the swimming pool, on the track. So it wasn't a normal life for me, but that's what I chose. And when everybody else is partying, I was in the gym shooting 1,000 shots. I was in the pool, swimming, 100 laps, running in the water, doing underwater weigh-ins. So so I was regimented. It was regimented for me. If you want to be great, this is what it's going to take. So it took a lot of sacrifice. I didn't have a normal childhood, where I was able to go to different parties and do whatever. But again, I have no regrets because that's how I live now. That's how I live my life. If you want to be great, you got to pour into it. And what you put in is what you get out. So it was a benefit.
That's good. And we got another one, Bob. You see that one? Monty Williams. She wants to know.
Describe your game to me. And do any other players in the WNBA maybe play like you? Moni Williams.
How you doing, Miss Williams? Let me answer that. What I try to do is I just tried to be an all-around player. I didn't want to be just one-dimensional, and I was just a scorer. So what I did was I concentrated on all areas of the game, and I was a student of the game. I watched a lot of game film. I watched, I practiced with the men. However I could be great, I can be great. Even in college, in high school, I played at recess with the men. If there's a men's team, obviously at Washington High School, I get done with our practice, I go practice with them. That's how I got better. And I did the same thing for 4 years at the University of Cincinnati. Once I left class and once I left my practice, I'm going to practice with the men. And you know what I'm saying? So I was used to that regiment. And if you wanted to be great, I was hungry. I wanted to be great, and I was going to show people that, guess what? No matter what school you go to, if you believe and you stay humble and you stay prayed up, anything can happen.
So was it any player that reminded you of yourself, though, that plays in the WNBA now?
I would say.
Or someone who's not there no more? That's what I was just about to say.
I would say Maya Moore.
I was about to say that.
Agile, humble, professional, a leader, can do it all. Simone Augustus, she's another one. I pay homage to those young women because I'm like, wow, you play like me. You know what I mean? So, just humbly said, man, and Maya Moore, she's the truth. Simone Augustus is the truth. And I just hope I represented, like I said, myself well in my city and my state, and my family. So that's what's important. But I just try to give back to these young ladies and let them know hard work does pay off.
Right. Now, let's talk a little bit about equal rights, right? As far as men, women playing, you guys are playing college basketball, men are playing college basketball, but somehow men can go hardship and say, I'm gonna play 1 year of college and go. Why is it that we don't see a lot of women doing that 1 year of playing and saying, you know what, I'm gonna put my name into the WNBA draft?
Well, I've been outspoken about this topic because it's never been fair. The playing fields has never been fair because there's no way we play the same sport, we put in the same time, the same effort, same energy, and young women's parents are going to say, go get a college degree, and that's how you make your life and you set your life up. Some men, obviously, they know there's more opportunity out there for them. There's no way that we should have to play here in the States, make these sacrifices, and in order to make half their paycheck, we had to go overseas to still play a 70-something game to even compare to their pay. So let me explain something else to you.
Okay.
I just joined. I'm one of the a business partner of Bridge Global Elite. So what we're doing is this is what I'm going to be talking about in the motherlands in South Africa when I go. We're going to be talking about paying to play, equal pay to play. So I'm glad you said this, my brother, because I think there's no way if we play the sport or if we're CEO in a company and we got just as much as experience, just as much education, we should be equally paid. So that's a long story that we can go into. It has nothing to do with women's rights. It's just happened to do with equal rights for everybody.
That's right.
Right. So, and I'm not mad at the brothers, but we got a long way to go, and I'm gonna try to push that agenda far over in the motherlands as we go. So you'll be hearing about that soon as well.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm behind you on that too. Because I love watching basketball, but when I see women play, it's different to me because I'm watching the game from a fundamental standpoint.
Absolutely.
I'm not watching them going in there dunking and hiring these old fancy trainers and putting these videos up. Women can ball out.
Absolutely.
Women can flat out ball out. And I just don't see enough publicity out there for women basketball, and it's sickening to me because even in the high school, you got Indianapolis, you got Chicago. These women love to play the game of basketball, but you don't see them on ESPN as much high school.
Absolutely.
You don't see them on these live stream networks that shows the men. So I'm with you on that 100%. And I think my man Kobe Bryant, before he passed, I think he was on the path of getting that out there too.
He was. But let me say this to you guys. Thank you so much for bringing awareness to women's basketball and giving us a platform to speak on your platform. So I'm humbled, and I'm going to keep speaking about women in sports, women empowerment, period. So we got a lot to say. All we got to do is, get the listeners. And I think now, like I said, with my Bridge Global Elite company, we're bridging the gap, and we're going to be bringing women's basketball to Bridge Global Elite platform. We're bringing 2 HBCUs August the 2nd through the 11th, 2023. We'll be in South Africa in Cape Town. So you guys stay tuned. We just signed a big contract with ESPN in South Africa.
Wow.
We got Jay-Z Rock Nation, Meta World Peace Marketing. So just stay tuned. So I'm most definitely, wherever I go, I'm going to put that women's platform ahead of me, and we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be making noise about it, and we're going to speak about it, and we're going to continue to speak about it.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I'm excited.
That's awesome. You got another one. Hoop Scoop. As that one of your guys there, Hoop School?
That's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy.
So he got a question, right? He said in 1983 USA Pan Am game, World Championship team won, the best team ever, one of the best teams ever. For some reason, they don't talk about this these other teams. Y'all won gold in the Pan Am, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about your experience with in that game. And did you like playing, or did you enjoy playing for Pat Summitt?
It was for me, again, coming from Cincinnati. I had to go to Colorado Springs, try out for 12 positions. There's 1 or 12. You know, basketball can become political, but I had to go in and think, and I had to do something. There was 500 women invited to this tryout in Colorado Springs, the Olympic Training Center, to get down to 12. So me personally, the way I think, it was always professionally driven anyway. At a young age, I was thinking, how can I counteract what these people are doing? When we know everybody's going to come in and try to prove that they can score, I had to do something that no one else was thinking about doing, and that's playing defense. So I'm up against some of the top guards in the country, and this is what they told me. And I just said, guess what? I'm just going to show them what I do and play 90 feet of the floor and rebound, be an all-around player. And come to find out, when I made the team, they already had the team pre-selected. So they gave me Vet Angel out of Ohio State's jersey. So what they did was they put tape on her name and then end up putting Cook on mine. So that just goes to show you a little bit about that, how things are pre-selected. It's political, but I made it. You know, thank God I did. I was humble, and I was humble, and I'm happy to represent my country. And playing for Pat, I love her to death. There'll never be that she was the greatest ever to do it. She was very, very hard on us. She expected a lot. She was a perfectionist. But like I said, we won the gold, and guess what? That was the best team ever that I think that was assembled on the women's side of international basketball.
Now, can you name another player that was on that team with you?
Cheryl Miller, Lynette Woodard, Ann Donovan, Pam and Paula McGee, LaTanya Pollard. We have some players now. I'll put that roster up against anybody.
Anybody, right? So now, since you was talking about one of the greatest coaches, you hear this on the men's side, right? Mm-hmm. Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT? But you hear the players that's playing now, they talk about the GOAT, like a Candace Parker. They talk about a such and such player. What's her name? Diana Taurasi. They talk about her. What about the players that played before them? You, like yourself, Cheryl Miller. Mm-hmm. You don't hear your guys' name being mentioned as much along with those people when they say the GOATs.
Absolutely.
Women basketball.
Right now, when I played, the person for me, the American person for me had to be Cheryl Miller. You know, she was the GOAT for me. But I've had a lot of GOATs that I played with, you know, and internationally you could say Kaina, the Brazilian, whatever, she's the GOAT, even though she doesn't live in the States. But Cheryl had to be, you know, she had to be the best of all time for me. The only thing about that was, you know, you got to have the whole package. You know, you got to be humble. And humility wasn't one of Cheryl's
forte.
So she was the best, and I give her that. You know, I loved her as a teammate. So when we start talking about GOATs, you got to put classes among classes of people. You just can't say this year or this time. You know, I respect to Diana Taurasi, but you know, there's a lot of GOATs that I've seen, so it'll be hard to just pick just one.
I hear you. You got something, Bob?
Well, I was gonna wait because I see you in all. I had to wait. I had to let him get his all out right quick. I'm like, man, he got this leg. But it's all good though. But you know the funny part, I just want to go all the way back to the 350 scholarships.
Yeah.
Like, how do you make a decision with 350 scholarships, Liv, right? Liv, y'all had that. I didn't play ball, first of all, like you guys did. I was a street ball player. Like, what goes into that process? You got 350 letters. I know you want to stay close to home, but were they offering money?
Well, no, they weren't offering me money. They probably was offering some of the men money, but it wasn't about that. It was about, again, I went homebody. I love my mom. I love my brothers and my sisters. And I just wanted my aunts and my cousins to be able to see me play because that's how I was raised. I could look up in the stand and have 50 of my relatives there, right? I was used to that. So if I go away to Harvard, to West Point, to Yale, Southern California, guess what? It wouldn't have been that easy. I would have got homesick. I took all that in consideration. I took all 7 of my trips. And basically, Cincinnati really was the only one talking about academics. You know what I'm saying? So my mother and myself was intrigued to say, guess what? Hey, listen, I ain't just a basketball player. My mother told me at 16, if you don't come home with a degree, you don't have a place to stay. That's the type of mother I had. Wow. Don't let basketball use you, you use it. Wow. That was the message.
And that's so lovely to hear, because when you have, parents that's stressing that, not just on the basketball side, but your academics are so important. It makes it balance out the right way. And a lot of people put their hat or put everything in one bucket, say, I'm gonna be this professional basketball player, and that's it. I may not can read or write right now, but I'll figure it out later. And then when it's that basketball stops bouncing, now you like, I'm searching. I don't have nothing to fall back on, so that's so important that you had that upbringing, that you had your mom, preaching that to you. And that's lovely to hear that. I do have one more question I wanted to ask you, and I'm trying to think about it, but I got so many people talking on the timeline. I got to show that. So let me show this. Let me show this one first.
There you go. I know y'all just talked about Cheryl Miller, but can you tell us what made Cheryl Miller so great? Was she intense in practice, like games?
She was very, very intense. Obviously, when we won the gold medal and we came back to Colorado Springs, I competed against her all summer. I go up against her all summer, to get ready for the games, the international games, the Pan American games. And you just saw something totally different in her. And it was just, it's her drive, her determination to be great. But again, what must I say? In order for you to be good and great in anything, you have to take you got to have a passion for basketball. You got to have a passion for it, and you got to want to be great. And she wanted to be great, right? Mm-hmm. She practiced with her brothers, Reggie, her other brother that played, baseball for the professional team. So she grew up exactly like me. But to see somebody that big, 6'3", that could dribble, that could dunk, that can, score at will, that's why I pay the respects, to her, because it's well deserved. Hopefully I answer that question.
Yeah. Now this is all well. This is not off the subject at all. But nickname. I hear this nickname, Cookie Monster.
That's it.
Where did you get that nickname from? Was it in college, or was it in high school? Was it in elementary school? Where did you get the nickname?
Well, I've always been Cookie because of my last name. It originated in high school. And how the Monster came about was they turned that into an All-American flyer when the Sesame Street came to town. And they sent me we had the Cookie Monster come to the university, and they take my All-American flyers. That's when we was up for the Kodak All-American team. So they had the Cookie Monster stand by me, and that was just like a prop. My name's Cookie. They call me the Cookie Monster. She gobbles up rebounds. She gobbles up points, gobbles up assists. So it originated from high school, but my actual nickname is Cookie, and everybody knows me by that. And and like I said, that it stuck. After I took that All-American picture of the Cookie Monster, you got it floating around on Google, online, and I don't mind. It worked for me. I did make the All-American team.
Right. So what's the W? What was it? The WBA? Was that in place when you were playing?
No, there was European Basketball Association. They didn't even have anything in existence for us overseas. So when you graduated, the first thing my agent told me when I walked off the stage, that you will have to report to Spain September 24th. I'd already always taken French. And my mom said, why are you taking French? You know, and I went to Spain and didn't know the language of the currency, but I learned very quickly that I had to take a crash course at the University of Madrid. You know, I thought they were ripping me off. Like I said, I didn't know the language of the currency. I played over there for about 4 or 5 years, led the league in scoring. And it was a great experience. Been around the world with this game of basketball, man, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So it's my God's gift. That's what he gave me. And I benefited from it. Yeah, it benefited from me as well, but I most definitely benefited from the game.
Hey, Ms. Cook, let me ask you a question. Do you think that when you watch kids nowadays, you think they take the game for granted? Do you see a certain level of entitlement with basketball nowadays when you watch it?
You know what? I see kids now, and I'm not even mad at them. You know, parents, you know, selling the kids for NIL contracts. But if you truly want to help your child or children, you want to instill the basics, and you also want to instill humility, because with money, it becomes change. Attitudes change. The love of the game change. Because, you know, when I played at Cincinnati, we played for Cincinnati. When I played at George Washington, we played for George Washington. We didn't play for names on the back. I'm humbled that now we paved the way for these young people to make $1 million off of themselves. I'm not hating on you. I'm stating, please remain humble, because the way you get it is the way you lose it. Parents, please continue to work on the fundamentals of games, whether it's swimming, whether it's track and field, and allow them to appreciate the game. But also, lastly but not least, let them know they're not bigger than the game. No matter how much money you give them.
No, do you know who this person is?
I seen Lucia Harris' story. I think this is talk about Lucia Harris. This is a story about a lady that was a pioneer that opened doors for all of us. Right? I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research. So I'm humble. I appreciate, you know, all of her efforts and everything that she had to go through, because there was somebody before me that I pay homage to. And I just say thank you. I appreciate all of her efforts. The movie was great, well put together. Now, matter of fact, I think Shaquille O'Neal did this documentary on this lady, but she was the truth.
I need to go see it. I need to go see this.
In her time. She was the GOAT in her time.
And she's no longer with us, right?
Absolutely. No, she's no longer with us. Let her rest in peace. But it's an awesome story. I think every young woman need to see it, from whence we came. And we pay homage to her. I'm paying homage to her for sure.
Wow. Someone wants to know, if it wasn't for women's basketball you playing, what other passion did you have in life?
Well, what I do now, I run a juvenile prison for the state of Ohio. Been doing that almost 23, 24 years.
Wow.
And I love working with young people and giving back. But you know, God is amazing. He got a way of showing you your other paths, or what, you know, he's moving me in another path. So like I said, I have this business venture that's coming up in August, and I'm sure I'll retire from here and go on to stay close to the sport, putting on sporting events, bringing women's platform to South Africa. So I'm excited. If I wasn't playing basketball, what would I be doing? I have a passion for stopping violence. Okay. I have a passion for being wrongfully convicted. I have a young man by the name of Michael Sutton. I don't know if you guys heard of him, but he did 15 years in prison, him and his co-defendant here in the state of Ohio. And we know the state of Ohio is, you know, the biggest state of wrongful conviction.
Is this this one guy right here? Is this what you're talking about?
No, that's not Michael Sutton and Kenny Phillips. One did 46 years, was given 46. The other one was 96. But make a long story short, he's family, and we've been working 15, 16, 17 years to get him released. He finally got fully exonerated. So my hat's off to him. His name's Michael Sutton, and now he can live his life. But my passion now and always have been is violence. Let's stop that. You know, yeah, we can wear the black owned, you know, what is it, the Black Lives Matter shirt. I think all lives matter, and I think if we gonna stop the violence, let's really do it. Get into these neighborhoods. I'm walking streets. I'm speaking to mothers of victims, right, of murder victims. So let's give back to each other and let's love each other. And that's my passion. That's my cause. Wrongfully convicted people, to assist them in getting out of prison, and also to stop the violence in our neighborhood, because it starts home first.
Hey, Ms. Cook, you said Ohio is the #1 state for wrongful convictions?
Absolutely. They over convict you here, and I think we need to make noise about that. That's why people.
That's the first thing I heard.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And then they let you do 38 years and 46 years in prison, and you can't even get an apology, but you can get, you know, they'll let you out, and they won't admit that they were wrong, but it's on the news that, hey, wrongfully convicted again, but he had to do 38 years. We had one gentleman just got out in a wheelchair, did 48 years or something. They rolled him out the front door. He died before he can actually, and he was wrongfully convicted. So yeah, it's this state right here. You know, we need to change things, and we need to change laws, and we need to know who you voting for. Don't just take the opportunity to vote because we have it. Do your research, know who we're voting for, know these judges who we're putting in office. So it's bigger than basketball to me, but basketball has been great for me. It's opened platforms and doors that I never thought would be open. And we got some work to do.
Right. And I also think, Cheryl, that some of it is a setup for some of our young people too, that was locked up or incarcerated. And then when they get out, they don't have something to help them, you know, get ahead of life. They end up going back for the same crime. Let's say, for instance, somebody was selling drugs or what have you, and they go in and they boom, do their time, and then they get put back out there. Why is it that it's no programs, or is it programs set up for these young men or women that's been incarcerated, get out, and then they come back in and doing the same thing again?
You know what I try to do, and I say, you caught me at work. I'm in the prison right now.
Okay.
And what I try to do is pour into these young people, and I'm going to be honest with them. Because some of these brothers might end up living next door to me. And if I don't pour into him and teach him, I can't teach him how to be a man. That's not Miss Cook's job. I'm going to teach you how to be a law-abiding citizen, right? So what I try to do is, a lot of times I reach these guys in sports because they know about me. You know, they didn't Google me. They didn't have folks at their house Google me and whatever. And what I try to pour into them is, you know, you guys have victimized folks. People are scared of your generation. You know, that in and of itself is just, it's embarrassing to me to be a black woman and working with these black male offenders. And y'all got to see our pain. Y'all got to understand your mom's pain. But what I try to do here at the prison is force people to do their job in regards to giving these brothers meaningful, structured programs. Meaning they need to be financially able to take care of themselves. Talking about financial literacy. Let's teach them about credit. Let's teach them about the importance of getting your education. You're right. I don't know any 50, 60, 70-year-old drug dealer. So let's forget those thoughts. And we're putting positive things and feeding positive things, and even as well as energy. I do check-ins every morning. I want to know how these brothers feel, because a lot of them are traumatized, and if you don't get to the core, it's like peeling back an onion here. I peel back layers every single day to try to get to the core of that issue before he lashes out on me, and I'm not your problem. I'm here to, you know, to hand out solutions. So I'm a voice for them, of the voiceless. And I also force my young men to advocate for themselves.
Right. Mayman has something, Bob. He wants to know who is your top 5 players that you had to defend? Who is your top 5 players that you had to defend?
I would say Lynette Woodard, Cheryl Miller,
and it could be somebody in high school too.
LaTanya Pollard. Top, okay, what is that, 4, right? I'll say Kim Hampton.
Yeah. Kim Hampton. Wow. They were all different positions.
Listen, I've played from point guard to jumping opening tip center. So I've had to play all 5 positions.
Wow.
So at any given time, I'm defending Pam and Paula 6'3". I might be checking a point guard that's probably 6'1", jumping and opening center, whatever. That's why I said you have to have all around games. So if you wanted me to check them, I'm gonna check them. You can't be fearful. That's how I'm gonna get better. So yeah, I've done it. All 5 positions.
So Cheryl, I take it that you did have the opportunity to play in the WNBA because Cynthia Cooper played, and then is Cynthia Cooper around your era too?
Cynthia Cooper's a year younger than me, but what I did was I retired. I had played 15 years overseas, and by that next following year, everybody thought I was gonna jump to the WNBA because it was originated after I retired. But I was exhausted. I had never had a summer break. I went from playing a regular season overseas to going to international. That went on for 15 years with no break. So I wanted to lead a normal life. So as you can see, be careful what you ask for, because my normal life here is in prison. But I have no regrets.
Wow, that's awesome. Now we always, because I know you at work and we don't want to take up all your time.
Good. You're
okay.
Good. My own books.
Okay, so what kind of advice would you give to, I'm gonna say, a young lady that's want to get into the game of basketball but don't really know, the levels and what it's going to take? And so, what kind of advice would you give to a young up and coming basketball player?
Well, I would, I'm so open and so honest, and I would like for young women, if you need me, you can email me. I can give you my email. I'm always willing to help, players before and after me. So if these young women want to really get into it, my advice for them is, first of all, make sure you have your grades right educationally. Get your grades where you need to be, because again, basketball is temporary. And if you get hurt, you want to have something to fall back on. But make sure you're practicing both hands. If you're dribbling, I need you to dribble left. I need you to dribble right. I need you to stay down low when you're playing defense and have your head up and your back straight, arms out. But I would love for young women. Anybody can contact me. I'm an open book, and I'm always willing to share my experiences. I still stay close to the game. I love to talk about it, and I also love to help young people strive for their greatness as well.
All right. And then we have another question. Melissa wants to know the 1984 USA team. I think you got hurt. Did you get hurt?
Let me tell you what happened. That was the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already a shoe-in, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but it made headlines. We had just came back from winning a Pan American gold medal winner. So if you wanted, or you one of those 12 women that were fortunate enough to win a gold, you automatically get a seat, at the table on the team for the Olympics. So we go into the gym, and it's late at night. We want to shoot around, and Cheryl wanted to show off. Cheryl Miller wanted to show off, my teammate, and try to block my shot. She went up to try to block my shot. I came down on her foot and actually broke my ankle. And what I did was I competed. I still wanted to make that team so bad. They built a cask inside of my ASIC Tiger. I had some gold shoes that ASIC Tiger had rewarded me for winning the Olympics. Winning the Pan American Games. So I went through a whole practice to try to make the Olympic team. After getting hurt, after, you wanting to show out, you already a shoe-in. Like me, I thought I was a shoe-in, but when I got injured, I ended up being an alternate, so and still unable to play. So that right there left a bad taste in my mouth, but I got over it because, there's a reason behind every season, man. But I really wanted to be on that grand stage again to show people, no matter where you come from, it's about what you put in it. And I put a lot in it, but I was disappointed.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I was just thinking about something as we talking. My mind just be going right. So I was like,
Mhm.
wouldn't it be something if these mega NBA players who's making all this money put a pool of money to the side for women's basketball, so so the women won't have to go overseas and make up the difference of money, but you put a pool of money. These NBA guys are making a boatload of money, right? If
Yes,
they can put it to the side and say, you know what? Because I thought it was a fraternity, right? I always thought
absolutely.
that basketball was a fraternity.
Hmm.
No matter what, if it's a woman basketball, if it's men
Absolutely.
basketball, it should be a fraternity. Why is it that we can't form something, a union or something that says, you know what, let's help the women. Let's help them. Let's bring them up. Let's uplift them, because it's some young women out there that probably want to play basketball, but they never seen no one look like them on television because it's
Absolutely.
never promoted.
Yeah. I
What do you
would
guys think
love,
about that?
Marcus, I think that's an awesome idea. These big global companies, that's why it's so important for Bridge Global Elite. Again, my company, Rod Lemon's the owner, that I'm going to have an opportunity to make an immediate impact and bring the women's game all the way over in South Africa. So that platform there, we're going to generate revenue, right, for the women. We also do internship, we do agriculture, we do real estate development. So we're more than just, like I told you, the basketball aspect, but that would be great if we had more sponsors that would, or more of the NBA players that would speak out and say, hey, listen, they're playing just as hard as we are. We're playing 82 games. They're playing 60 something games. Hey, let's instead of putting the money somewhere else, let's put it here for the women that plays hard every single year. And it's still sad even to this day that we have to play in the United States. When that season over, what you think happened to Brittany Griner? Let's talk about that. Her
Mm,
season ended, because I stand with BG. Her season ended over here, win 2 Olympic gold medals for the United States. She go overseas to compensate and make up for the money that she couldn't make here. And she make a mistake that is not even considered a imprisonment offense, and all the sacrifice she done. But at the end of the day, we all know what it is.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I tell
Mm-hmm.
you what, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade would have never did a day. So I
Mm.
stand with BG, and I'm going to continue to stand with it because we're a sisterhood, believe it or not. And she shouldn't have did a day. But until she comes home, I'll still continue to talk about it.
Man, that is interesting that you said that too. That if it was somebody on that men's side that happened to have that product in their possession, it probably wouldn't happen. It probably would have been a little slave. You know what? Give me your autograph and you go home.
Yeah, there you go. We won't even
And
speak about it. We won't
right,
even speak about this.
right,
Mm.
right,
But
right.
it's okay. We got a long way to go, man. I mean, yeah, we could talk about how far we came, but we have a long way to go when it comes to equal opportunities for women. And like I said, unfortunately, Brittany, just speak to her a little bit more. She's caught up in a political ploy, I believe, and
Mm-hmm.
it's wrong timing. It's a war going on over there. It's politics. We know what politics can do to you. But I
Mm-hmm.
just send my prayers out to her wife and her family, because again, it could have been me playing
Mm,
the game that I love and make an honest mistake, because I'm still human. She's still young. And I'm away from my family for 9 to 10 years in a penal colony. So again, let's all pray for her. And again, I stand with BG. And yeah, we need to make some noise in regards to the NBA working better with the WNBA, and that's investing more
mhm.
money into the women's game, because like I said, we're not going anywhere. It's going to continue to get bigger no matter how long or what we got to do that. So I'm all for whatever work we need to put in to make it happen, but I'm going to do my due diligence in South Africa to continue to bring light on the women's game. So I'm excited.
Man, that's gonna be nice too. That's gonna be nice. Uh, I hear, man.
So can I
Man, it's
put a
some.
plug in? Can I put a
Go
plug in?
ahead, put your plug in.
If you want to contact us on Instagram, you want to go to Ballin, that's BALL_N_the_DA_Bush. Ballin in the Bush, Bridge Global Elite. August the 2nd through the 11th, we'll be in South Africa. We're bringing Howard and Shaw's men to compete over there in South Africa. They're presenting me with the Medal of the Motherlands. Yeah, so I'm excited to bring that back. I'm humbled, I'm honored, but contact us at Bridge Global Elite. We got Devin Green, former Laker. He's on our team as well. Like I said, Meta World Peace, Jay-Z, Meta with his marketing firm. We just signed a $10 million deal with ESPN South Africa. So we're going to do some big things. And I just want you to look out for us. And I'm going to continue to bring the women's platform wherever I go because it's a sisterhood. And thank you, brother, so much. You ain't got to end now because I'm having a ball talking to you guys.
No, it's all good. We got, man. You brought everybody out today.
Hey,
right?
I got another question. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
I see it.
Okay.
Let's talk about Janice Lawrence. This is kind of ironic. She's one of my favorites too. That bank shot was 100% off the glass. No matter where she shot it, it was bank and it was good. You know, me and Janice, we live in the same city and I didn't even know it. And she ain't even from Ohio. We came in contact. She lived right around the corner from me. So we're getting ready to have dinner, but I love Janice Braxton. She is one of the nicest teammates to ever have, the most professional, but did not play once she got between those lines. She'll fight now, but that jump shot and that bank shot off the glass, you thought Tim Duncan did it?
She did.
So Janice Braxton, I love her. I love her. I love her.
Wow. That's crazy, right? And now I also read something that the great Oscar Robertson, right? Went to high school in the same area as you. Mm-hmm. Your high school was how far apart was it?
It's about 4 miles apart. Wow. Christmas Addicts. He went to Christmas Addicts, and I went to George Washington High School. And the ironic thing about it is, obviously, you know, the Big O went to University of Cincinnati, right? Ooh. Also, we went into him, and I got inducted into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame at the same time.
Whoa!
Yeah, so just a class act all around. Now that's a go. That's a go. That's a go. That's a go.
Yes. So you guys had you had many. I take it that you had many conversations with him.
Lots of conversations when I was a student. I've always been a student of the game and always want to ask questions. And you know, I wasn't privy enough to watch him because he's older than me, but just, you know, every time out, he'll critique my game, you know, after a game I have at Cincinnati, what I did well, what I can improve on. And like I said, I've always I'm so humble. I always want to learn. I want to learn from the best. You know, Michael Jordan played on my Pan American game team, and I would watch him and I would watch how he approached the game. He was a professional, even at North Carolina, right? So, and I didn't answer this one question for this young person. They asked me, did Bobby Knight recruit me? Yes, he did recruit me to play for Indiana University.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, come on, sir. Now you gotta be honest with us.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
You saw how he coached. Would you have if it was possible, would you have did it?
Listen, I would have, because Pat was just like him. She just didn't throw chairs. Right.
Oh, okay.
Expectation. But see, he just wanted, you know, looking back on it, I would have loved to play for him because he's gonna instill the discipline, but he's also, guess what? He still wants the best for you. You know, all of his players graduate, right? No matter how hard he was, and he won. He was a winner, right? He was a winner. Pat was exactly the same. She was so intense that you didn't crack a smile in practice. You were scared to make a turnover. You were scared to do something. And it was just out of fear, but it also was out of love. So she got a lot out of us. She brought us together. We won a gold, and, you know, we were winning. So I would have loved to have played for him.
But talk about
those are words you never heard together at the same time.
No.
Somebody loving to play for Bobby Knight.
Yeah, me personally, if you played for, like, Vivian Stringer was my coach on the World Championship team. She was another one. She was intense, but she's a Hall of Fame coach. They just expect more. And see, nowadays, you know, you holler at a kid and try to pour into a kid with a little aggression. You know, now you got parents, you know, you can't say this and you can't say that. And we're not talking about cursing. We're talking about instilling discipline that they can use the rest of their life. And you talking about you mad, you performing in the stands, you showing your kids what they shouldn't do. So it's a different era, man. And I get it, how we raising our kids, but we got to do better in this thing called sports. We got to do better. You know, in AAU games, y'all fighting in the stands. Come on.
Wow.
We set that example. Wow. So this game is a wonderful game, but I just think we just, the way we do things now, and money is changing, folks, and taking the love out the game. We played, we ain't had no money. We was playing for people's shoes. You know, you got nice shoes on. Guess what? Let me play for them.
Right.
Yeah. You know, we was hungry. You're not physically hungry, but we love the game, man. And we'll play it morning, noon, and night. Street lights come on, we still playing.
No, you're hitting that on point. That's all on point right there, because I was going to mention that too, because the money got so big that the parents, instead of them concentrating on what they were doing, meaning they had their job, they saw an opportunity to make some money, saying my kid got potential to make millions of dollars. So why don't I promote that and stop playing or stop working, doing what I'm supposed to be doing to be the provider? Let me look at it as a paycheck now that I can get off of my kid.
And it's sad, but then again, if you know, and I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Nothing's wrong with seeing the potential and the greatness in your kids and supporting them. But I think some of us, when I say us, just us as Black folks, I think we need to allow kids to be kids. I think they're growing up too soon and too fast. You know, if they got the opportunity to make money, trust and believe me, go get it. I get it. Anybody would. But money is the root of all evil, and folks need to understand that. Guess what? And still, it's a business. This has become a business. This is a big money business. And when we did it, it wasn't a business. It was the game that we loved. So I just don't want them to lose sight of the game. And, you know, obviously money is the root of all evil. But if you got somebody, one of your kids that is destined for greatness, I'm all for supporting them. And whatever you got to do do it. But let's stay humble, you know, and let's not just forget, you know, that sometimes it ain't all about the money.
Yeah. I don't think you may have answered this question, but Pooh, she wants to know, who is your top 5? I think you told us your top 5 you ever played with.
Yeah, I did. You want me to repeat it?
Yeah, let's repeat it for Pooh so she can hear it.
I'm gonna say Cheryl Miller. I'm gonna say Lynette Woodard. I'm gonna say Pam and Paula McGee. I'm gonna say Kim Hampton. Those are 5.
Yeah. And now let's go to the men's side of the controversy that we've been hearing about that was going on with our guy, Kyrie Irving. You know, we got one of our guests. They want to know, Cheryl, what's your thoughts on Kyrie Irving drama?
I'm sorry.
Was he wrong?
No, not at all. What I feel about Kyrie, I think Kyrie is a smart young man. I think, again, when we start talking about money, business, organizations, I don't think Kyrie he didn't say anything wrong. He watched the documentary. He didn't make it. He didn't do anything. But he had an opinion. And no way do I think this guy is hateful. He loves everybody. He stated it before. But when you get money, folks want to muffle you when they're paying you. Kyrie's done nothing wrong. I stand with Kyrie. I'm not hating hateful. I love every race that loves me. And but again, the Nets owe Kyrie millions of dollars, even with that COVID vaccine. Let's talk about that. Let's talk
You
about
mentioned that. Bob mentioned that
he didn't
before.
have to take a COVID vaccine. He didn't have to take the COVID vaccine. They forced him. He didn't take it. Now he's playing certain games where it's not allowed in certain cities. I stand with Kyrie. He's never said anything wrong, and it's unfortunate this young brother got to be used as a example. Now you can't state your opinion. Everybody's caught up in this hateful rhetoric that they're selling to the public, and people are believing it. So, Black folks, we need to stick together. Kyrie's done nothing wrong. I stand with Kyrie.
Right, that's nice. Now Borad wants to know, ask her, did she ever play against Yolanda Griffin, who is a Chicago legend?
I've seen Yolanda play. I've never played against her, but I like her mobility. Very good person. I watched interviews where she's had, but she is very just a legend to me. Just a good legend, good professional. But I've never had the opportunity to play against her.
All right. Cheryl, well, no, Cynthia Cooper. What about her game? What did you like her game? Can you tell? Because I didn't see. Somebody told me she was from Chicago, but I don't. Is she from Chicago? Bob, do you know or no?
I don't know. I know
Cynthia
she was a
Cooper.
killer though.
I think she is.
Yeah, I think she's from Chicago. Yeah. So
she got an all-around good game.
Yes, but I'm saying I watched, and it seems like your game was kind of a little bit of like that too, like that. I don't care who's in front of me. I don't care. You think you got it. You had a little name, and you came over here. I'm about to give you these buckets. I'm about to lock you up on defense, and everybody.
They said Cooper from Watts.
She from Watts, California.
Watts, California.
Okay. So, but
that's Candace from Chicago. That's who I was thinking about.
Yeah. And the other girl, what's her name? Well, I don't even think Kathy Poindexter is really from Chicago either. I know she played high school ball there. She played high school ball there, but she's not from there. So we talked about the advice you would give to a young female that's coming trying to play the game of basketball. Now, if you had an opportunity to play against one WNBA player or one NBA player, who would that be?
My WNBA player would be right now. Diana Taurasi. Okay.
And on the NBA side, men's side, who would that guy be?
If I had to play against NBA side,
yeah.
I'm gonna say John Morant. LeBron James, but no, I'm gonna stay in my little corner. That John Morant. Yeah.
Now, are you watching?
Swag,
are you watching
right?
him? Yeah, I love his swag, man.
That boy's tough.
And just listening to him, just listening to him talk. Listen to him talk about how his dad gave him that, to put the fear in other people or to try to throw them off their game. So I love that. I love that about him.
I do too.
I love that about him. So who do you think going to win the NBA championship this year?
I'm so tired. I mean, I love the Warriors and what they do, but that Steph Curry is unbelievable. It's hard to bet against him. But John Morant and them, that little young Memphis team look good.
They fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
And also the Cleveland Cavaliers now with that Spider-Man. Yes, them guys are fun to watch. So it's gonna be hard to say, but I know Cleveland coming out the Eastern Conference. I do know that.
Okay. Hey, Miss Cook, I gotta get ready to bail, but I want y'all to keep going, but I gotta go to work, man. I gotta go pay some bills.
No,
it was a pleasure meeting you, man. I just want y'all to go and keep going, Liv, because this is so good.
Yeah, no, we'll go a little bit
I
longer,
love
and
it.
because I got to bounce too in a few. But I
That's
wanted to,
fine.
Bob, you gonna go? You gonna get
Yeah,
out
I'm
of here?
I'm finna dab out. So nice meeting you. Continue success with all you got going on, Miss Cook. Okay.
Hey, brother, blessings. Thank you for having me on your show. And guess what? Hopefully, we'll talk again.
Absolutely. All right, live. I holler, big dog.
All right. Yeah. He's got so many jobs, this dude, man. It's
Right.
crazy. Right. But we got man wanted another question. Cheryl, before you get out of
Okay.
here, on Candace Parker game, and what do you think about her game and what she meant to the game in today's, game?
I like Candace Parker's game. I really like Candace as a person. Um, raising a daughter, you know, um, during the season, broadcasting, got the total package, humble, but a winner, a true winner. She
Right.
played for Pat. Yeah, she's a true champion all the way around. She's a true champion, and nothing but love and respect for her.
Yeah, I think Candace is doing a good job too of talking and
Mm-hmm.
speaking up about women basketball as well, because
Mm-hmm.
I think we get so sidetracked with the NBA that we forget, and the women are not getting the support that the men get in the stands, even coming to the games. People are not coming and sitting in the stands, and I think it's all because the marketing. They don't
Mm-hmm.
they
It
don't market
is.
it. They don't package it right, because once you get to the game and you see these women play, these ladies play, you will be blown away. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, she's quick, just like John Morant.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't publicize it enough for the women to get that publicity that they need so people can come and support.
But see, we need platforms like this, Marcus, because we're gonna make a lot of noise, and you need honest broadcasters, right? I've broadcast before. You need honest broadcasters. We're gonna call it like we see it. We're
Yeah,
gonna talk about it when we see that. Again, what we're talking about, it's not equal pay for play. We're doing the same sport.
right,
We're working the
right,
same amount of hours. So
right.
you just got to have people that's willing to make that stand and talk about women's basketball honestly, what we need, and guess what? We putting in the work, we putting in the time, and we need to be compensated for it. I'm not afraid to talk about it. No, I'm
That's
not
right,
controlled by anybody,
right,
right?
right.
And only one person can judge me, and that's God. So
Mm,
I love being on your platform. I love, speaking any chance I get, but I'm going to be honest about it. We're just going to continue with this fight, and we can make some noise together. We're better off in numbers anyway. So we're going to keep talking about women
yeah,
need more money. We shouldn't have to go overseas and entertain after a
yeah,
long season over here. We shouldn't have to do that.
yeah.
Been there,
Because you
done
got
that.
because you got to think about it. Brittany Griner went over there. She's married.
Mm-hmm,
Her partner's in the U.S. and she's locked
mm-hmm,
up because she
mm-hmm,
had to go be a provider
mm-hmm.
across the water.
Yeah.
Why we can't create that in the States for her so she didn't
And
have to go over
we're
there?
better received overseas.
It's crazy,
We're
right?
better received overseas, and we're Americans.
That's crazy. That's
I
crazy.
went to Spain and they treated me, calling me in the Louis Vuitton shops, Gucci shops, MGM shops, and come get what you want, and cookie
Wow.
this and cookie that, and hola this and gracias this, and
Yes.
well received. And it's unfortunate that you're better received in your own country or outside of your country than you are in your country. So that is a story in and of itself that we need to change,
And,
And like I
and
said, she was representing Europe. She was representing America and went over to Russia and made a mistake. And now
right,
you got to pay for 10 years of your life in a penal
right,
colony.
right.
It's not right.
And then I always said this too when our players from the U.S. go across the water to play, it's no union like
Mm-mm.
bonded, right? So if you go over there and play and you have two bad games, you might be sent on the plane without that money that's supposedly be guaranteed. So you may get 30,000, but your
That's what it
contract
is.
said you was worth 500,000, but you don't get it. So I always said
Absolutely.
if I go play over in Europe, can the Europeans start a union to protect the Americans so their contract is guaranteed? Because when you come and play in the NBA and the WNBA, that contract is guaranteed. If I waive you, you still gonna get paid.
So what I did was, when I came out, I ensured that I had clauses in my contract where it would be guaranteed. If I got hurt, I would still get paid. Okay. So we didn't have the contract, but we had the actual verbiage in our contract to the owners of the club. So I made sure that I didn't move outside the U.S. until I had the right verbiage from my agent and from my attorneys that looked over my contract to say it was sufficient before I go to a foreign country and either get taken advantage of in regards to the financial aspects of it. So I just I would tell any young person to make sure that your contracts are being read over, make sure it has the right verbiage in it, and make sure that, guess what, you're getting the right amount of money. Because if you're not careful, like I thought I was getting ripped off. I had to call my agent like, Bruce, these people paying me half in Mercedes and half in US, and they was ripping me off anyway when I went to the market because I didn't know the language.
Right.
It's like, see you later, foolish American. Adios. Like, see you tomorrow, fool. But so you want to make sure that any contract you sign, obviously, to the young people, and you're going, being able to go abroad, that you know the language, number one, you know where the U.S. Embassy is, you know the currency, and also you know to have a second party to look over your contract and make sure you got those verbiage, the right verbiage in there. So I would spread that to anybody, and I'm just spreading it because lived it, done it, been there, and I know a little bit about it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, Cheryl. And now, before we go again, I want you to drop that website or your social media page where they can find you and talk about, and maybe even donate to your cause.
Absolutely. So this is our actual Bridge Global Elite event, and it's called Ballin, BALLIN _ the letter N as in Nancy _ DA _ Bush. This is Ballin' in the Bush 2023, August 2nd through the 11th. We'll be in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we're bringing 2 HBCUs from the United States to play over in South Africa. They're going to be honoring me with the Medal of the Motherland. So you can find us on Instagram. You can also find us on Facebook, Bridge Global Elite, Rob Lemons. I want to say, shout out to my business partners. There you have it. So God is moving me. This might be the end of, the prison era, but he got a way of putting you, those medals are getting ready to work for me, Marcus.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I'll be doing commercials over there as well with ESPN South Africa. So I'm excited.
Beautiful, Cheryl. That is beautiful. And continue to do what you do. Much success to you. And I know you will do it. And it's just an honor to have someone come on our show and actually drop knowledge, because I'm not saying our past guests didn't do that either, but I think this was a little bit more informative. And I think people would now understand that what we all about here on All Ball Chicago, it's about our guests. It's not about us trying to say, well, let me dig dirt on them and let me put this out there. No, I want you to come on and tell your story, how you see it, because no one can tell your story better than you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, my brother, you and your business partner, All Ball Chicago. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you.
And I love y'all, Marcus. And guess what? God blessings.
Love you too, Cheryl. Be good. Right. Stay safe.
Okay.
Love you. All right. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching.
Chicago. All Ball. Shut down.